I will. All righty. So, and I just had my chat up. Let me see who's in there. Okay, so I'm going to call out your name. Please just acknowledge that you're here. If you wouldn't mind, we have a first on my list actually is an external number. It's 907-748-0706. That's
That's
Mike Williams.
That's me. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Are you just a member of the public tonight?
No, I'm on BPAC.
Oh, you're on BPAC? Wait. Oh, wait. Are you with Noah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've never seen you before. I'm so sorry. That was I've never actually seen what you look like. Well, it's nice to put a face to a name. Okay, well, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, so we've got Mike Williams with Noah, CB Brady.
Yep.
Awesome. Diana Rhodes. Diana? I still don't think she can hear me. Lindsay, were you able to text her maybe, or she's not looking at her phone maybe? Maybe I will try calling her after this roll call here. Well, I can see her. Diana Rhodes is here with the Parks Foundation. So awesome, Diana. Jesse Doherty, it looks like you made it in, getting your mom over to the Iditarod start, or the Iditarod volunteer station.
I did. Yep. She's all ready to go tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, great. Emily Weiser, I know you're here.
Yep, present.
Awesome. Daryl Hess, our chair.
Present.
Excellent. Lindsay Duke.
Hi, everyone.
All right. And then we have Katie Severin.
Hey, Joni and everybody.
Hey, Katie. Nice to see you. Oh, there goes my lights working now. Okay, great. All right. And we have a couple other people that we have invited that may be joining us in a bit, but otherwise that is who we've got so far. And I have the agenda up. Can everyone see the agenda? Yes. Awesome. So Daryl has to take it away. And actually, so I did forget to copy and paste the public involvement statement in our agenda, but I can improvise if you want me to.
Sure. Just basically, you can say all AMATS BPAC meetings are open to the public.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to say that. Okay, all AMATS meetings are open to the public and anyone can attend. And we post our meeting dates a week prior to the actual meeting to give public notice. And yeah, we encourage people to show up and participate. So there we go.
And there's an opportunity for public comment at every meeting.
Is exactly, yes. Right.
So, all right. Thank you, Joni. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
The CB, I move to approve the agenda.
We get a
And
second?
I will second. This is Katie Severin. I'll second.
Thank you, CB and Katie. Any discussion, any additions? Seeing and hearing none, is there any opposition to approving the agenda? Okay, the agenda is approved. Could I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the December 5th, 2022 BPAC?
This is Emily. I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Emily. Can we get a second?
This is Mike. I'll second.
Thank you, Mike. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any opposition to approving the minutes of the December 5th, 2022 BPAC meeting?
Oh, let me pull the minutes up here for you. I think, and I sent these out a while back, right before, I think pretty soon after our December meeting, but I sent them out just recently, about a week ago too, so.
All right.
Great.
Any opposition to approving the minutes? Seeing and hearing none, the minutes are approved. We have no action items. That brings us to general information, and our first item is an update on the 2050 MTP.
Excellent. And Chelsea, our newest planner, who is our MTP project manager, she just got back from a recent trip to Finland where she attended a winter cycling, not the Congress they canceled this year, but it was a winter cycling kind of convention. So she has a lot of great information to share with you guys in the future. But today was her first day back, so she didn't have time to come to the meeting tonight. But she did send me an update on the MTP, so let me just read it out for you. So she says that they are currently working on writing the full MTP document and using the travel model to prepare the draft alternatives. The draft alternatives are based on the recommended project lists that the Policy and Technical Advisory Committee members reviewed at a work session in January, which can be found on the MTP website at amats2050.com. They expect the next round of public involvement on the draft MTP document and alternatives to be in late summer, early fall. So, and there's some background. She said if it's helpful, for folks, the MTP is the primary tool AMATS uses to plan for transportation needs within the AMATS area and recommended solutions based on anticipated funding availability over a minimum of 20-year horizon. The MTP needs to reflect adopted local plans and comply with current federal regulations. And that's the update. So it sounds like there'll be more things going on and alternatives to be reviewed in late summer, early fall. So that'll be the next kind of big public involvement effort. All right.
Any comments from committee members? All right, that brings us our next item, update on the AMATS safety plan.
Awesome. And I can give that. I think we're going to have a pretty quick meeting tonight. I can give that. So our AMATS safety plan is underway. We have had 2 biweekly meetings from the consultants. So we've had about a month's worth of biweekly meetings. They have produced so far a draft public involvement plan, which we have reviewed. They've also produced a draft PIP, or not a PIP, but a draft like project management plan for the whole entirety of the document. Anticipated timeline for completion for this plan is going to be in December of this year. So it's a really quick turnaround compared to all of our other plans, as you guys know. And so we are hoping to stick to that deadline as best we can. A couple fun things that we are, or not fun, but a couple exciting things that we're going to be able to do is incorporate the safety forum that the committee, the small BPAC committee that met on that just recently. We've met a couple times now, and we're going to be able to incorporate that into our safety plan sort of public involvement outreach. And then we're also going to be able to incorporate a survey, which is suggested by the AMATS small committee that met, to incorporate a survey into the safety plan, and that will include questions that this committee can put together, or put forward questions that will go out to all of the folks that we contact for this broad reach safety plan. So those are 2 good things moving forward. I want to see if there's anything else. We are working on a website right now. The website will be up in March. So I don't know exactly when it's going to be completed, but we will have it completed in March. And then we will also have on there the copy of the public involvement plan, and then other relevant documents that people need to see. And then we're also doing a broad-based data outreach right now. So what the consultant team is doing is gathering a bunch of data from the past efforts. So the Vision Zero effort, the highway safety efforts that DOT has done, the efforts that we did for our non-motorized plan. And so they're looking at all of that data and compiling it to use as we move forward. So that's basically where we're at. Does anyone have any questions?
Joni, this is Daryl. When will the BPACs be able, when will we see the draft safety plan?
The draft safety plan, sorry, I guess I could turn my camera on here. The draft safety plan will be available, I believe, in September. So, oh, I forgot to say, yes. So we are going to have a public involvement open house, a big public involvement event, and that's going to be in September. So I think the draft will be available at that event for folks to look at. And I wanted to ask the BPAC tonight, because we have meeting, we can also schedule a special meeting if folks want, but we have a meeting in June, we have a meeting in September, and then of course we have a meeting in December. And I figured this committee would probably like to see or obviously comment on the draft of the plan at their September meeting, but do you want the consultants to come and present to you in June to give you sort of an update on how things are going? Do you have any preferences? Is there anything that the committee wants me to ask the consultant team to do specifically to educate you all about the safety plan effort?
I think a presentation in June would be appropriate.
Okay,
Any other
great.
thoughts from committee members?
Yeah, this is Emily. I agree. I would love to hear from them as often as they want to talk to us and be as involved as we can be.
Great. Oh, my
Yeah,
video
Mike,
is not working.
I would support that as well.
Excellent. Yeah, sounds good. Well, I will let them know that. And then we do have an advisory committee as well that we are putting together, and we definitely want at least one BPAC member on that advisory committee as we move the plan through the process. So if we have any volunteers, think about it. And that's going to be basically, I think we have 4 advisory committee meetings throughout the planning process. I think starting in March. Our first one is going to be late March.
Joni, it's CB. I'm interested.
Okay, great. Thanks, CB.
Yeah, and this is Emily. I think we had talked about this before, but if I can be involved as part of Bike Anchorage, that'd be great too.
Yeah, we can definitely work that. We're going to work that out. And I think, you guys are both invited, you and Lindsay, as our part of our small group committee, are invited to tomorrow's biweekly check-in.
Okay, I don't know if I saw an
Did I
email
miss-
for that.
Okay, I may have, shoot. I'm gonna, okay.
And
Let
I
me
think-
check on that.
Okay, I think Lindsay and I both have a schedule conflict now. I was just realizing that
Okay.
earlier.
Shoot. Okay, well, maybe we'll get you on for the next one then. That's probably my fault. I probably forgot to send out the invite soon enough.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So we have 2 volunteers for the advisory group, right?
We do. Emily and CB.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily and CB.
Yeah. Thanks, you
Yeah.
guys.
Let's do it.
Love it. Like the enthusiasm. That's all I had to present on the safety plan. Does anyone have any other questions before we move on to the next item? No? All right. Well, I was Daryl.
Take it
go
away,
ahead.
Joni.
Oh, okay. Well, I was actually going to let, so this next item is the safety forum about that small committee that we formed that included myself and Emily and Lindsay Hyduke and Daryl and Jesse Doherty. And I was wondering if one of you guys might want to just give an update to the group on what we talked about and your thoughts on how that was working and
I missed the last meeting, so if somebody else would like to update.
yeah. If not, I can give an update, but I just was gonna extend the offer out here. Oh, yep, Jesse was out too. Lindsay or Emily?
I would love it if Emily wants to give an update on this.
Me too. I'd love that.
I haven't really gathered my thoughts on this. So hopefully Joni can fill in the gaps, but yeah, so I think I'll start and I'll see how I go. But we had mentioned at our December meeting that it would be good to do something around safety. And this was before we had really heard much about the safety plan too. So it's great that that's happening kind of at the same time. And we're seeing some good opportunities for synergy there. But what we're thinking for the BPAC Safety Forum is an event probably in the latter half of May, where we get some folks from DOT and the Muni and AMATs to all kind of talk about what they're doing for safety, for bike peds specifically, what they've seen that has worked, where there's still opportunities for improvement, trying to make sure everybody's talking to each other and sharing ideas and problems and solutions. And then I think we also want a component for some public involvement so that people can raise issues that are important to them or that they see as some of the biggest problems for bike ped safety. So Joni, do you have more specifics than that I missed?
No, I think you got all the points. Great. I think, yeah, just highlighting the fact that we're going to be doing the safety forum, and we're going to be working with the safety plan as it moves forward to do this broad outreach effort, integrating the survey, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, and if anyone has survey questions that come like top of mind that you want to ask folks as we move forward with the safety plan, now is a great time to send those to myself or Emily or Lindsay or anyone, and we can get those to the project team. So, because R&M is going to be running our survey, so that'll be good because they're very versed in the public involvement realm and they do a great job. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see a survey go out. Yeah, I think, I remember one thing we talked about at the last meeting was kind of whether or not to have the safety forum be virtual only or a hybrid, if we could somehow make it a hybrid. And we were kind of doing a little work to research if there were some good examples of having a hybrid forum. But I would be interested to hear the other BPAC thoughts on this. Yeah, Mike, looks like you've got your hand raised. Go for it.
Yeah, so I guess I had a question. So the safety forum and the safety plan are really just coincidentally two initiatives that are going on at the same time. There's really no relationship between the two. Is that?
Yeah, and so
you're coordinating, right?
Yeah, so the safety plan has been in the works for a while, so a few years now. We've been trying to get that funded. And then the safety forum came about, I believe it was at our December meeting. We've had a high number of pedestrian fatalities and injuries this year, especially with all the snow and the maintenance and the snowpocalypse that happened and whatnot. Not that that's anything unusual. It's unfortunately the pedestrian fatality rate has been climbing over the last few years. So I believe Emily brought up, what can we do? Is there something more proactive that the committee can do to address this issue besides like writing a letter to the technical advisory committee meeting, etc. And so she brought up the idea of forming a small group to talk about ways to address safety more directly and give the committee more opportunities to weigh in and do something productive and that would help. And so that's what we did, and we thought about the safety forum I think that was Emily, your suggestion again as well. Did Lindsay or Emily want to chime in on that too? But yes, it happens to be coinciding at the same time we're doing the safety plan. So there wasn't like a concerted effort to coordinate those two, but the timing was such that they happened to
Right.
coordinate well. Yeah.
Okay, cool, thanks. And then I guess I had another thought as part of the PTAB. We've had a couple conversations about talking to the municipality about prioritizing snow removal. And it seems to be a easy link to safety if you don't have even access to a sidewalk because of the progression of snow removal, that somehow is that a place to kind of start to talk about that within this safety planning effort that we've got going on, to kind of get in front of that as well, because that again seems like a more proactive thing we can do to talk about what are the priorities and how can we prioritize this disconnect between snow removal on streets that then block the sidewalks and the bike paths, and now that whole set of users can't even access the sidewalk safely or the bike lane safely. So is that a connection here that's worth exploring and talking about as these safety things move forward?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that was actually, I can't believe I forgot to mention it, but that was a big component of kind of the why of why we were trying to do this safety forum. And we were thinking that it would be nice to have, because what I believe, and I think is other folks do as well, is that we need a broader, we need this issue addressed at a level that's higher than us. And so potentially at the state level where funding is allocated, especially the state of Alaska. And, you know, the municipality is its own thing, but we need this addressed. We need to be prioritized. We need a culture shift towards spending more adequate money, staffing, and equipment on improving safety and winter maintenance, which are directly related. And so part of the effort of the safety forum was to build, and the survey, sending out the survey, was to like analyze, send out the survey, do the safety forum, get all this feedback from folks, and then put it into some sort of form that then the public, people that would like to advocate, because as public servants, I'm not really allowed to go lobby, like a lot of us aren't like really allowed to go lobby. But if we can create something, a tool that the public could then use to advocate at this higher level, that would be a big benefit to doing the safety forum and coordinating the safety plan. And I think winter maintenance is a huge part of that, especially for us. And I know CB, you're probably just dying to weigh in here, but yeah, so that was a big piece. So yes.
So
Anyone?
Joni, it's CV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. That's a drum that I've been beating and will continue to beat until we can walk to bus stops. And that's not the priority of the BPAC, but it is related directly. So I can see why you'd bring it up. And it is a good place to for us to get together. And then I guess, Joni, my only thought in addition is, even though we do want to we want to go higher because that's where we need to go, it's okay to still cultivate this louder I'm not saying you weren't suggesting this, but it's okay to cultivate this as big a base as we can to create a louder voice. And that involves including other organizations, senior groups, whatever it may be, Center for the Blind, and have a louder voice when we go up one more step.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what it's all about. Getting that group, a mass of of people that are really hard to ignore
Right. It's not a
together.
short-term solution. We're in this for the long run, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Well, if we have any more winners like this one, which we probably will, we need to, this is something that's got to be fixed. So, yeah. Does anyone else want to kind of comment on the that effort, or how ways we could coordinate better, or expectations?
Yeah, this is Lindsay. I was just going to add, based on a couple things I put in the chat. The first is that we were tentatively just holding the date of Tuesday, May 23rd, that evening from 6 to 8 to have the summit. So if you have any conflicts with that, let us know. But we're hoping to kind of do this before summer, of course. And then I'm taking notes too, so that when we have our planning meetings, we can make sure that we get the input everybody has had tonight. But I just added some of the thoughts we were thinking about this survey so that we could get lots of participation, and then at the forum, be able to report out and also come and coalesce around some solutions. So some of the objectives for the summit are just to really define the problem, and that some of that is from the survey outcomes. Get everyone in the same room to have the dialogue to really identify what works, what are the gaps, and what kind of path forward we can all move forward on to make some solutions and positive changes.
Yeah, that's great. And thank you for taking notes, Lindsay. You've been taking really good notes at all of the small committee meetings, and that's really appreciated. Thank you. Great. Well, I think it'll be a really good effort. I think it's really good timing, and I'm excited to see us move forward with this plan. And I'm really kind of excited to see a plan get finished in 1 year. I've never seen that done before, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully it'll get finished. Oh, and another good benefit of the safety plan, now that we're still talking about safety, is that we should be able to use that, I believe, use the initiatives that are developed in that plan to apply for not AMAT specifically, but other groups. So anyone here representing other groups that wanted to apply for grant money to do projects to improve safety, we will have, that is a specific goal of the plan, is to make those initiatives available so that that money can be applied for or can be put towards grant applications, or you know what I mean. So you can use the plan to apply for grants for safety projects. All right, well, that's it for me for that item.
All right, next is the update on other AMATS planning projects.
All right, and I just have a couple projects that I was gonna give you guys the update on, but that's all I've got. So number one is the recreational trails plan, and that is, we are finalizing the TORA right now. So DOT is finalizing the TORA for us. That should be ready in March for sure. And then Parks and Rec, they're going to be managing the plan. They are working on the RFP right now. So we're trying to time it as soon as the tour is done, the RFP is ready to go, and we get that to purchasing, and then we can start that whole process. But hoping to have a recreational trails plan out to bid, and maybe we have a consultant on maybe by this fall would be amazing. Probably it's going to be more like December or something, but yeah, and so we'll be in full swing for getting that recreational trails plan right as our safety plan is wrapping up. So that one is going to be very exciting, and I know that a lot of folks on this committee are excited about that plan, as am I. And the other project I was going to tell you about was, so we are Aaron did put into the tip $100,000 for the next 5 years to go towards an AMAT safety campaign. And so right now we have a Center for Safe Alaskans with Marcia Howell working on that campaign. And they don't have the money just yet, but we are working to think about what they want to do this year. Last year, they did a bunch of outreach. They did a bunch of swag, created like, I think hats and gloves, and I think scarves. We did coffee. We did coffee sleeves at Pilates. Those are really cool with little safety PSAs. And they did quite a bit of outreach and collected a lot of data. And so this year we have more money. Last year was 30 grand. This year we got 100 grand for that. And I think one thing that we wanted to do was we would like to make an effort to hear more from people that are walking primarily and riding the bus. So, and we would like to pick maybe 4 or 5 people and do videos of them kind of telling their story and talking about their experience. I think CB, you would be amazing to have in one of our videos. But if you guys know of anybody that we could ask to participate in this video campaign, and Lindsay had some really great links. Fairview did some videos recently that are awesome. I watched those. They were really well done to just educate and do kind of outreach and get the ball moving for, celebrating a sense of place and safety and all that. And so, but anyways, we were going to do this video campaign. So we're probably going to need at least like 4 or 5 people to interview and make a video. And Lindsay just posted the video links in the chat. If you guys want to watch those, they're really well done. Thank you for sending those. So we would like to create something along those lines and use it in put it on the safety plan website, which is going to have its own website, and then also put them or maybe ask these people to present at the safety forum. So maybe they can do a small short presentation and talk about their experience walking, using transit in this town. And then yeah, it'll be a good way to bring a voice to the folks that don't normally get to have a voice in regards to these issues. So I'm excited about that. But that's all I had. It was Christine's birthday today. We made her a cake. That's all. That's all I've got. I feel like I talked this entire meeting, so happy to hand it over.
So Joni, I'm curious. You talked about safety bling that we did as part of this effort in the past. Would we have any safety themed bling available for our safety forum in May as possibly an incentive for people to attend?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Totally. Yeah, let's throw some ideas around.
Okay.
Good suggestion, Daryl. I see Lindsay has her hand up too.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, because you mentioned there was a lot of data from the safety campaign last year, and if we're able to get a presentation or learn what some of the outcomes were for distributing the winter gear or the campaign about the coffee cups, like what are the outcomes of these efforts?
Yeah, that's a great idea as well. I'll ask Kim to present. Let's see. Do you guys want I could send you something, or she could present at the next meeting, or both. Maybe I could send you guys sort of a breakdown of what was created and all, and what the analysis showed, and then we could also have a presentation at the June meeting. Or did you guys want a special meeting? We could do that as well.
Oh, it doesn't have to be special. Just at the
Okay.
next meetings, I think sounds great, especially
Okay.
if you're rolling out the next phase of it or whatever.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, well, definitely I'll put Kim on the agenda. And maybe Marcia can present as well. I think Marcia, or yeah, she's probably back. She doesn't really spend winters up here, so. But she could probably join us. I'm sure, yeah, we're virtual anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, great idea. I love it. Looks like Mike's got his hand up as well, too.
Yeah, I was gonna just say I would certainly appreciate getting some of that stuff in advance, and then we can be a little more informed during the presentation. So that I think that would be helpful if they do have some results that you can share with us beforehand. That'd be good, and then we can digest that and be able to ask some informed questions during the presentation.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. I will ask them to put together just a breakdown of everything that was done last year. They've sent it to me kind of in rough form, but I'll have them put together something and then we'll send it out to you guys so you can look at it.
All right,
Okay.
thanks, Joni. Any other questions or comments on that agenda item? That brings us to committee comments. Anything anybody would like to share or comments regarding agenda items that came to mind after we passed the item on the agenda? All right, I see Diana has her hand up.
Hi, yes, I just, as a comment, I just want to highlight that there is the upcoming elections coming up, and we have so many of our AMATs trail projects on the Prop A park bond. There are 3 trail projects that are matched by the federal AMATs dollars. The Ship Creek Trail to the Coastal Trail, the Fish Creek Trail to the Coastal Trail. And then the third one is it's actually not an AMATS project. It's a federal highways project, a federal project though. It's the Federal Land Access Program for funds in Far North Bicentennial Park. But just wanted to highlight that issue, that it's coming up. Ballots will be mailed on March 15th, and the election is April 4th. And be aware of it. It's coming up.
Thank you, Diana. Lindsay, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to share a couple updates that connect with the BPAC. One of them is through my role with NeighborWorks Alaska. We were successful in applying in partnership with the Fairview Community Council to receive a Reconnecting Communities grant. And this is the first ever federal grant through the DOT to reconnect communities that were previously cut off from economic opportunities by major infrastructure projects. So we've applied for Fairview because of the highway connection along Gamble and Ingra, and are still, getting things into place and really understanding what this means. But really, the intention is looking at pedestrian and other non-motorized access within the community and connecting the neighborhood, especially as this all moves in tandem with the Seward to Glen mobility planning and environmental linkages study that's going on. And so we're still going to be meeting with lots of stakeholders and partners, but it's something that I hope will help shape the future of Fairview, but also how we think of planning infrastructure projects and really leaning into community-led solutions for our neighborhoods. So I wanted to just share that and celebrate it, and I'm sure we'll have many more opportunities to work with and partner with folks on this effort. But kind of with that, I just also wanted to bring up that Seward to Glen mobility Pell. It's a big process to look at the highway connection from Seward to Glen. And the team that's leading it, HDR with the DOT, they just had some kind of internal alternatives meetings last week, and many of the alternatives just had no real mention of pedestrian, bicycle, or transit access. The team said it's all implied within that, but I just wanted to really make sure that folks on the BPAC and in your different kind of communities and networks are aware and can weigh in on this effort as it goes forward. And I think it'll become public in the next few months for their public engagement process, but we're hoping that our Reconnecting Communities grant helps engage and inform and can collaborate with the Pell team so that there is more community input and buy-in, and a longer term vision for the future of that connection.
Thanks, Lindsay. Having lived in Fairview for 37 years, I must say that the 1961 Highway Connection Project was one of the poster child projects that led to the formation of the National Environmental Protection Act. It split Fairview and has socially and economically negatively impacted my neighborhood for over 60 years. So it's exciting that the neighborhood and NeighborWorks have received this grant to look at how the neighborhood can be reconnected. Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
Any other comments? I see Mike has his hand up.
Yeah, I had a question. One for Diana, how do we get access to the ballot measures that are in the upcoming election to kind of get informed about those? Is that just through the basic Muni website to get to some of that information?
So I work for the Anchorage Park Foundation, and we have information on our website. And actually the anchorageparkfoundation.org, but also, yes, on the Muni website, muni.org. And then there's a big thing that comes up, and then elections, the elections page. And there is a page that has every one of the ballot propositions, and there's quite a few this year. There is quite a few, including, well, there's going to be on this Thursday on Outdoor Explorer. I don't know if you listen to Outdoor Explorer on Alaska Public Media, KSKA. They have a presentation about the parks bonds and about Prop 6, which is the Chugach State Park Access Service Area. So Beth Nordland is representing the park bonds, Prop A, and Joe Connolly, who's the head of the road service area, Glen Alps Road Service Area, is representing the Prop 6. So that's another way to get information on it. It's an interview on that program.
Perfect. Okay, thanks. And then I had one final question. One of I get confused whether it was in BPAC or PTAB, where we were talking about whether virtual meetings or we were going to go to in-person, and where decisions, if any, have been made on whether we can keep meeting like this or we're going to start going back to in-person meetings, or where we stand on that, just as an FYI, I guess, for myself.
So I don't think the BPAC we've discussed recently whether or not to go back.
Maybe it was PTAB that we talked about.
It would be a decision of the committee. It would be up to the committee to decide if we want to start meeting in person.
Okay, thanks.
Emily, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to put on your radar as bike ped advocates or interested parties that DOT has recently sort of re-announced a Seward Highway project. It was previously known as the Windy Corner Project, and it's now been expanded to span all the way from Rabbit Creek in Anchorage down to Bird. So as it happens, we have the Bird to Gird bike path, but we don't have anything from Anchorage to Indian. So I think this project would be a great chance, if you're interested, to talk to them about the possibility of putting in a bike path with the highway project. Whether or not the highway needs to be expanded and redone and all that very expensive stuff is kind of a different question. But if they do that, I personally think it would be really wonderful to see a bike path put in as well for a small fraction of the cost. So there is an open house coming up on March 23rd. It's in person at Golden View Middle School. I will not be able to attend that, but I wanted to encourage anyone who's interested to go check it out.
That's awesome. This is CB. Thank you for sharing. And I agree, having grown up in construction, it is inconsequential to the total cost, and it would be very beneficial. And it's, I think, frankly, scary when when bicyclists use the New Seward Highway. I understand why, but it's also very scary.
Yeah, it's pretty scary for us too.
I was
Alright,
just gonna
thank you,
type
Emily.
in real quick. Sorry, Daryl. We did get contacted by Mark Lucan, who is, I don't know if he's like the official project manager for that project, but they were wanting to meet with the committee. And so I definitely know that they're interested in meeting with the committee. I don't think their team is ready to meet just yet with project details, but they would be interested in giving a special presentation to the committee. So just so you guys know, that's something we could potentially schedule for June.
They have
Yeah.
identified the BPAC as a stakeholder for this project.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I would be all about that. And even if they needed to meet earlier to get our input, I'd be more than happy to do a special meeting too.
We had actually
Awesome.
invited them to present tonight, but they weren't ready, so they're looking at probably May, I think, at the earliest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah, they did suggest a special meeting, but then he said, yeah, they weren't ready. So I was going to get more details from him on when their project team was kind of ready to start presenting. But yeah, as soon as they're ready, I will let you guys know, and we can either do a special meeting or just schedule them in June, whichever works out best.
Great, thanks.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right. Any
and I
other
can't make the
comments or
March
thoughts?
23rd. I can't make the March 23rd meeting for that Bird to Gird, but I would certainly be interested in hearing from them on that, and kind of echo Emily and others' comments on getting that connection to, from Bird to all the way in. That would be great.
Yeah, I think they're also going to have some open house materials on the website, so you can do like an online open house. But those are usually just, here's some information. You don't have the chance to interact with the project team like you do at the live events. So yeah, you can probably find some information between now and then, but it'd be great to sit down with them as well.
Hey, Emily, it's CB. Can you tell me the date again?
For the open house, that's March
Yeah.
23rd. It's, yeah, March
At Golden
23rd,
View?
5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Golden View Middle School.
I'm sorry, what was the start time?
5:30 p.m.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other comments, thoughts from committee members? Do we have any comments from the public? Are there any members of the public online? All right, back to Mike's question about meeting in person versus virtual. at any BPAC meeting, if a member of the committee thinks we should go back to in-person meetings, they can make a motion that we consider that, and then that could initiate a discussion. Totally up to the committee whether we meet virtually or in person. If there are no other comments, could we get a motion to adjourn?
This
is Mike.
CB, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
This is Katie.
Who
I'll
was that?
second CP's motion.
CB and Katie
All right.
followed.
All right, any opposition to adjournment? Seeing and hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you all. Good meeting. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy
Good night.
enjoy your night. Enjoy that sunshine.